first speaker, Mr. Ketan Patel. Mr. Ketan is a Vice President of Aerial Work Platform Association of India, APAOI, and has about 30 years of experience in marketing of industrial products in almost all industries. He has a focused experience of 15 years in sales and rental of AWP industry. Currently associated with Macro Corporation India Private Limited as Director. Today, Mr. Ketan will talk about the importance of aerial work platforms in Indian infrastructure and construction. So viewers, let's welcome Mr. Ketan Patel.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks to all the participants and panelists and B2B Purchase Magazine for creating such a platform where we are all here together to discuss the need, the requirement of aerial work platforms. I'm here on behalf of the Aerial Platform Association of India and to share the thought processes and details and challenges and needs, whatever we come across for doing rental business. A basic introduction of APOI. It's basically a non-profit organization founded in 2016 by rental companies, manufacturers, and dealers and associates. Currently, the total of all machines owned by the members of the association would be around 4,000, which is almost around 75% of the total fleet size in India. The purpose of APOI was basically to start with, it's not limited to what is just listed over here, but the purpose is listed over here, to create awareness about various legislations, rules, policies, government laws on ongoing basis and keeping an updated so that we can share it with our members. To basically promote safe and effective use of aerial platform in the industries, whether it is a construction site or an office building or a shop floor or whatever be the application, whatever be the right, to maintain the safe practices. The other thing was to facilitate and encourage exchange of information amongst its members. So what we have is basically a very powerful tool nowadays is a WhatsApp group. We have, like as an example, where all the members are there and they all exchange all information with regards to machine availability, in which area, parts, service engineers, any problems. So it's become a very easy way to communicate and enhance and grow and solve the problems. The other thing was to streamline smooth process of renting AWPs between customer and supplier. So this organization is not basically self-centric, that we don't want that we want only benefit only to the rental companies. We also want our customers to be benefited. What we did was, I'm sorry, I need to hide this. Yeah. So APOI collaborated with IESC. IESC is basically again a non-profit organization which is organized, promoted by the ICEMA, basically Indian Construction Equipment Manufacturers Association, and it is supported by CIA, funded by NSDC. Based on our inputs from APOI, IESC designed customized operator training programs, which were basically for certification for aerial work platforms, for boom lift, scissor lift, telescopic, different types of aerial work platforms. So training programs provide basically theoretical knowledge in classroom and as well as practical on-site on machines, increasing the efficiency of operators and keeping the job site safe. There are many milestones achieved by APOI, out of which few of the highlights I would like to share with you. APOI followed up with GST Council and the government authority to reduce the rental rates from 28% to 18%, which is a big thing. Secondly, they pursued with ARI, Automotive Research Association of India, to convince them that an AWP does not fall under Motor Vehicle Act and not to collect taxes for the same. So this was achieved, and not only that, they also sent out the similar circulation to AP RTO, and they also implemented the same. So these are something which we are really proud of, and it has helped all the rental companies. Third is, we have been having lots of several batches of operator training and certified courses till now. And on and off during lockdown, during this last 2 years, or also in person, we have been organizing webinars and conferences on various subjects like GST, e-way bill, labor, insurance, etc. A few pictures of the training being imparted. So if I am not too sure about the crowd over here, but in case if I just thought I can share something about what kind of access equipments are available in the Indian market to be rented out. So there are telescopic boom lifts, spider lifts, vertical mast lifts, scissor lifts, truck mounted articulating boom lifts. Typically, people may be only aware that, okay, there are scissors, there are boom lifts which are available on rent, but that's not the case. There are spider lifts also available. There are truck mounted boom lifts which are also available. So the advantages of using an ABW, the first and foremost is highest standard of safety at job site. So if you compare it with any other practices, which is like in India, I don't know whether I should be using this word called Jugaad technology or scaffolding or anything, it's the most safest compared to any other alternative. It's easily accessible in tight spaces, and it saves a huge amount of time. It saves lots of spaces as compared to scaffolding. This is, needless to say this, because you can visualize the footprint what a scaffolding would need and the footprint what a AWP or boom lift or telescopic boom would need. And all this put together, it basically saves them time and money and it's being more productive. Here are certain comparisons made in scaffolding and AWP with respect to cost savings, and then later on with respect to this thing, what you call productivity. So for example, a manpower in a scaffolding, you would need many manpower to build it up, to erect it. Whereas in AWP, there is virtually no manpower required. There is no setup time required. So the other thing is the numbers of units required. So in scaffolding, you would need many towers. As you can see on this picture on the right hand side, on the second frame, there is a scaffolding, and on the first frame, there is a machine which is working, which logically anybody can understand that a boom lift is a much better and easier option. Productivity. The first thing in productivity we would always relate to is speed. But scaffolding is basically a slow process because it takes a lot of time to set it up. And in AWP, it doesn't take much time to set it up. You drive it, you bring it to the job site, raise it to the fullest height and start working. And access, if you look at this top right, the first picture, you see a PEB structure being built up. You can. The best part is that it accesses through any tight spaces at height. And the third thing is like setup and tear down. When your work is done, you need to bring down the scaffolding again, which takes a lot of time, money, efforts, everything, etc. But in sort of in terms of an AWP, it doesn't take that much time. It's just like push the joystick, you are down in less than a minute. The other option, the ground levels. So when you're working at the construction sites, mostly the ground is not very favorable for scaffolding. It is challenging to set up scaffolding over there. But the booms, the machines, the AWPs and everything, they are easily usable on rough terrains. As you can see on this scissor lift, the terrain is so bad, but a scissor lift can operate in this condition as well. And lifting heavy tools. So scaffolding, it's not very convenient to carry your tools over there, carry a generator, a welding machine, or a pneumatic gun. But in a AWP, in a boom lift, when I say AWP, I'm right now referring to a boom lift or telescopic or an aerial work platform. You have facilities of having welding machines on the platform, carrying tools over there, also providing electricity or AC power over there. You get AC power on the platform. So there are several advantages of AWP as compared to scaffolding. What one would like to consider while renting out an access equipment? In my opinion, I would say the first thing is quality of the equipment. By quality of equipment, I would say the tire condition, the joystick functionality, the condition of the hydraulic hoses, and how well the machine has been maintained. The second thing which anybody should look for is a timely service support. So if you're renting out a machine, you want to make sure that in case of breakdown, the service engineers are able to attend to it in a good turnaround time. So this is what is most important, whether the company has a Pan India presence or they are able to access it within 12 hours or whatever time the customers has agreed upon. The third thing is parts availability. The rental company should have parts availability. Customers should look for that, in case of urgent and emergency breakdown, they don't have to wait for parts to come overseas or from long distance. And one of the most important thing is that to choose a correct equipment as per the application. Now, this is very, very different thing, basically because every job site is different. What would you like to consider while choosing a machine? It could be like a terrain, it could be for what purpose you want, the size of the platform, the power source, whether you want a battery operated machine or a diesel engine operated machine, etc. What would the changes are required in current scenario? There are a couple of things which would make this industry take it to a different level. What we have been facing problem is a hassle-free interstate movement of machines without RTO trouble. So currently many states are asking the vehicle to be registered and then demanding tax on it, which is a big challenging thing to convince them that it doesn't fall under this. Second thing is to initiate and maximize the practice of dry lease. Dry lease meaning renting out machines without operator. This is a very, very big thing which I think we should be encouraging. In the international market, very few countries, amongst which India is one of them, they rent out machines with operator. Otherwise, everywhere else, it's just rent out without operator. And it is beneficial to the customer also. The cost of operator is not added to the rent. The operator dependability is gone. The HR cost is also lying with the company for which the machine is working, so you don't need to multiply the cost over there. And there is a lesser manpower at the site. So there are several advantages which this has to be understood from both the sides, that dry lease is a good option and the world is following it. Operator training, next point, operator training in case of dry and wet lease both. Since we have not completely gone into this phase of dry lease and we have both combinations right now, in either case, the operator should be well trained, and this is for the simple reason, that is why we join hands with IESC and we have this training program, certified training courses. These courses are designed based on the inputs given by APOI to them and then put together. The next thing, timely payment from customers. We all know that the cash flow is the need for every business, is the fuel for every business. Customers should pay up within the agreed timeline, but unfortunately that's not happening almost about 75% of the cases. We wish that this changes, and this will help us a lot to give better services. Standardization of terms and conditions for billing across India. Basically, I'm referring to mainly the shift hours. Like for example, normally a machine is given out for 10-hour shift per day, and whether it's been used for 10 hours, 4 hours or 6 hours, but beyond 10 hours, you get paid for overtime. So if it's used for 12 hours, you get 2 hours extra. Nowadays, customers are asking that, okay, we don't want to go in this way. We would like to, rent out for 1 month and 300 hours. Now, it doesn't make any difference whether I use the 24 hours first day and next day nothing, 0 hours. Overall, 300 hours. So this is not right. It's not beneficial to anyone. It's basically less revenue generation, and this way the rental company cannot give proper services to the customers. The current challenges. The first thing is scarcity of well-trained operators. Operators are available, but not well-trained. Specifically, when we talk about, operating ultra booms, which are very big ones, 180 feet, 150 feet. So this is one thing which is a big hurdle right now. Increase of cost of doing business is another challenge right now, specifically in the last 2 years, mainly because the sea freight have increased, the inland freight have increased, there is no space available, and the foreign exchange has increased, because of which buying is also getting minimized. And third thing, COVID-19, yes, for sure, because repeatedly the RT-PCR test needs to be done whenever anybody is visiting the site or the operator is visiting the site, or replaced, apart from not only RT-PCR, which is 1,000 rupees or so, but what the cost of quarantine, 14 days, 7 days, all the accommodation cost and everything falls on us, on the rental companies. So this is something which is a big challenge. So that's about it from my side. Thank you very much to everyone present over here, and especially to B2B, the panelists, and the team over here. Thank you.